What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Heir of Light, let's discuss on the dev note number 103. Okay, it says about the Purifying Ground and the Transcendence expansion. From this one, we can easily say that like the developers are pretty much 100% sure on bringing the Transcendence expansion. They are actually not gonna rethink about it, and they have actually provided some pretty weird reasons in saying that like why it is very important, and I actually cannot find any solid reason for that one. Okay, anyways, let's discuss about that a little bit later. First of all, let's discuss about the Purifying Ground, which is pretty much a brand new feature in the Heir of Light. All right, so we will be getting 4 holy grounds that are Sanctuary, Altar, Shrine, and the Temple, where the purification will be processed. And what is purification? Okay, it says right over here, you can obtain shards of your servants through purification in Purifying Ground. Yes, that's pretty much it, guys. In order to purify the servant of your choice, Special Force team will help the purification process. That means like you'll be requiring one servant of your choice whose shard you really want to get duplicated or to be produced. Okay, and then to enhance the process, or let's say to initiate the process, you will be needing further 4 servants in order to accompany that process so that you can get more shards. Okay, so that's the thing right out there. Hire the Special Force team with higher growth rate will purify faster. That means like obviously you really need to put the Special Force team of such servant which are pretty much very high in the growth rate. Higher growth rate will also result in the higher rate of success. So is there a rate of failure as well? It has not actually said about that one. Okay, in purification, Heir can purify faster by using the well-developed servants. Okay, so meaning like higher growth rate means like faster shards farming rate. Okay, the next one is actual battle will not take place since you are not actually fighting against your servant to obtain servant shard. Purification will take place when even when Heir of Light is turned off. Heirs will be able to obtain servant shards even when they are not playing Heir of Light. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. It's an AFK servant shard farming. Okay, that's pretty great. So right out here, guys, you have to actually select a servant of your choice whose shard you really want to get duplicated, and then to actually initiate or to start this process, you need to actually select other 4 servants, okay, which are pretty much of the higher growth rate, so that you have the higher success rate of getting the servant shard of this servant. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Pretty much very basic feature right out here, guys. So in total you will be requiring 5 servants. Okay, so for this process. Next one is servants that are in the Special Force team for Purifying Ground cannot be used for other contents beside the defense team. Yes, so it's pretty much like a passive battle, meaning like once they are assigned to it, obviously you won't be able to use them in the other phases of your game. Okay, they are pretty much gonna be AFK. Okay, so that's the thing right out there, guys. Besides the defense team, meaning like obviously defense team is a passive effect. Okay, it doesn't actually it's not actually a problematic matter. The next one is there are 4 regions in the Purifying Grounds. That's what I said earlier: Sanctuary, Altar, Shrine, and the Temple. Initially, only the first region will be open. That is, only the Sanctuary is going to be available for everyone at the very start of this game. Initially, only the first region will be opened. The remaining regions can be unlocked through mileage shop or purchase of all-in-one package. All-in-one will open an additional region. There we go, we have pay-to-play feature right off the bat. Purchase from shop will open an additional region for 30 days only. Another pay-to-play feature, guys, so look at that. Okay, please note that name of each region may be subject to change. All-in-one package will double the shard drop from the Purifying Ground. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Okay, so there is a double shard drop rate right over here. Please try to note that. Okay, target servant for purification must meet certain requirements for each region of Purifying Ground to be purified. Okay, so that's the thing right out there. Target servant being like the servant that I'm like whose servant shard you really want to get manipulated or multiplied or drop. Okay, so right out here, guys, Purification Ground. Okay, so let's look into this table and let's try to understand this thing. Okay, first of all, guys, we will be getting this Purification Ground. First is the Sanctuary. Okay, Sanctuary is pretty much available for everyone. Okay, Altar, Shrine, and Temple is gonna be a like a paying feature. Okay, the next one is the Transcendence requirement. If you have all-in-one package, okay, in the bracket, and Transcendence requirement is pretty much this normal one. Okay, so in Sanctuary, your target servant, I'm meaning like the servant whose shard you really want to get duplicated, must be of at least second Transcendence. Okay, that's it. And the next one is, if you have all-in-one package, then only just first Transcendence of that unit is gonna be sufficing. Okay, that's gonna be enough. So okay, pretty much very nice bonus for the people who are actually paying to play this game. Okay, next one is element. Only fire, water, and forest element servants will be able to be targeted. Okay, next one is target servants. Servants from Explore and Sanctuary only will be able to take part in this target servant quota. Okay, yes, meaning like, let's say, what if you have like Water Mildred? Will you be able to duplicate her shards? Obviously not, because she is not actually available in any Explore or Sanctuary tiles. If you have Water Leonard, you can. If you have like let's say Christine, you cannot. Okay, let's say if you have Lenore, you can, like that. Okay, so second is the altar. Okay, in this altar, guys, what's gonna happen is that, like, basically your Transcendence requirement should be at least T4. Like what? Yes, T4 is the basic requirement right out here, guys. With all-in-one package, the third Transcendence is actually gonna be enough. And the element is like fire, water, forest only, not light and dark. And target servant is gonna be all servants excluding collaboration servant. Okay, so meaning like you cannot actually use Archangel, Valkyria, John Wick, and Sophia in this one. Okay, so all servants, meaning like pretty much every servant right out there except for the light and dark. Okay, so next one is Shrine. This is actually gonna provide for all elements, meaning even the light and dark units are actually gonna be able to take part, but their Transcendence requirement is at 5th. Like what? Meaning, first of all, this process says claims to provide the servant shard of like those servants which are pretty much hard to farm in the first place, and the requirement already is at T5, which is already like so hard in the first place. Like what? You need to actually get your target servant into T5 first before you can actually farm its shard. Like what? And then after that, what's gonna happen is that, like, this actually does not make any sense to me. How about you guys? Please let me know in the comment section below, like, what the F is this? Okay, the next thing is like in Temple. Now it's getting pretty ridiculous right out here. You will be required of T6 Transcendence right away, because there will be a total of T10. Yes, 10 Transcendence, 5 more Transcendence, guys. Alright, and element is gonna be all element, light and dark, both are actually gonna be included right out here. The next one is all servants including collaboration servants. So right out here, Temple is gonna be the most premium feature, guys. Even the collaboration servant shard you will be able to farm. Okay, so that's pretty okay, provided that you can actually pay. And you have a T6 Transcendence of your like light and dark, or let's say collab servants in the first place. Alright, luckily I have like T5 of my Forest Archangel, and normally I wouldn't be able to even do this. Okay, I really need to buy that all-in-one package the first time, at least one time, in order to at least get it to T6 in the first place. Like what? Alright, so pretty much very tricky, guys. This one is very tricky, right? Next one, going into more details about the table above. Fire Lucian available in Explore Sanctuary can be purified from the Sanctuary of the Purifying Ground. However, Fire Ignis can only be purified from the altar or higher, because like obviously Fire Ignis is not available in the Sanctuary tiles, right? Not in the this Explore or in the Sanctuary. So that means like at least altar or higher is gonna be required for the Fire Ignis, whereas Light Leto, which is actually provided in the tile, but she's actually a light and dark unit, so only higher Shrine or the higher will actually be sufficing her. Okay, so that's the thing right out there, guys. Pretty much basic. Also, due to the Transcendence requirement, light Valkyria with only one Transcendence cannot be purified. Okay, that's what I said earlier. For her to get purified at least once, she needs to be actually be in the temple. Okay, That's the thing right now, guys. Okay, collaboration servants are generally more difficult to obtain since they can only be obtained during the certain period of time. Therefore, we decided to set higher purification requirement for the collaboration servant. Like, can you actually make any sense of this one? As collaboration servants are very hard to get in the first place, we are actually gonna make it even harder. It's what it is actually trying to say. And I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense, guys. Next one. All light and dark servants must reach fifth transcendence to be purified. Okay, 4 transcendence with all-in-one package. Okay, so right out here, guys. Next thing that you really have to notice is that this all-in-one package is going to actually be in the effect. Purification requirement was necessary in order to include collaboration and unfarmable servants in the purification target. Since these requirements are harder to meet, we were able to provide better rewards. Like what? Like how? In what case? Ultimately, Purifying Ground allows Heir to farm 24 hours even when Heir of Light is turned off through Purification. While it can be ran 24 hours, short drop rate is similar to Explore Sanctuary. Okay, pretty much the same rate. Plus, heirs can farm shards easier with the less investment towards the valor, since the valor cost is only 6. Okay, so pretty much, okay, decent farming. Given that purification takes like 60 seconds, players can obtain following amount of shards within 24 hours of the purification. So you just leave it for like 24 hours, and these are the results that you are actually gonna get with all-in-one package. Okay, obviously the developers need to actually make this pretty good. Okay, so right out here, guys, if it's a Firewater Forest servant, you will be able to get 1 copy of that servant in every 2.3 days, which is pretty good, pretty okay. That's great. With all-in-one package, that is the double shard drop rate, right? So that means normally if you only do in the Sanctuary as a free-to-play player, it will take you about 4.6 days. Okay, 4.6 days per 1 servant. That is pretty much it. Okay, you will be getting 108 shards per day. The next one is the Light and Dark Servant. Okay, for this one you'll be getting 43 shards per daily acquisition, and you will be able to get 1 copy in every 11.6 days. And obviously this is already a pay to play feature. You cannot even do it in Sanctuary or whatever it is. Okay, it's already, you must pay in order to get this result. And as I told you earlier, it's only available for 30 days, meaning in 1 package you will be able to get about 2 copies. That's it. That's it, guys. Currently, many heirs engage in shard farming for 8 to 12 hours a day, which translates to 15 to 20 days to collect 500 light and dark shards. Ultimately, heirs will be able to farm shards 1.5 times or 2 times faster than before. Also, Purifying Grounds will be dropping a mark source that was not available before with or along with common Transcendence Shard, Transcendence Shard, and Skill Burn Summon Shard to support faster servant development and mark change. Okay, so that's pretty good right out here. We are actually gonna get that mark source, okay, which was pretty much like we have to actually for right now we have to actually sacrifice 4-star or 5-star net servants in order to get that mark source. Now we can actually find that. That is pretty much a great news. Next one is Purifying Ground will reduce the stress of leaving Heir of Light running on your device. It will also allow heirs to obtain shards faster. This all goes along with the Transcendence expansion. Heirs with 1st and the 4th Transcendence will be able to transcend faster with the release of the Purifying Ground. Okay, heirs that no longer had a room of the servant improvement after 5th Transcendence can aim for further servant development. Like what? You know how hard it is to hit that 5th Transcendence as of right now, and they have just like increased it. They have just increased the bars. Like what? Now let's discuss about the Transcendence improvement. Now this is the one that has been quite a topic of controversy. Okay, many heirs have left their opinion about Transcendence improvement. We are aware that there are most negative responses than the positive ones, especially because of the idea of using more than 1 servant to transcend 1 stage. Okay, and just read this out. Okay, the reason. As we mentioned previously, if each Transcendence required same amount of material, the gap between the heirs will become huge based on the heirs' time of investment. Look at that. Look at that. Like, let's try to make me understand like what this actually means. The gap between the heirs will become huge if the same amount of material is actually gonna be required. Like, huh? I just cannot get it. Okay. Next one is, we expect the gap to become even wider with the release of the Purifying ground. Therefore, we believe that we must increase the cost of each Transcendence as the 7 make Transcendence progression. Like, what? Please someone try to make this understand to me. Does it make any sense to you? Okay? It's just like saying to your friend that like, I know that you are gonna get thirsty while you are in your journey, so instead of just 5 bottles, I am just gonna put just 1 bottle of water in your backpack so that you can outlast the long journey ahead. It doesn't make any sense, guys. I mean, like, we are actually ranting about this process right out here because the release of the T6 and the T10 from T6 to T10 is actually gonna increase the gap between the free-to-play players or even the pay-to-play players against the another pay-to-play players, okay, in the first place. And now they are saying that like this feature is actually gonna close the gap. Like, how? It doesn't make any sense, guys. Furthermore, since light and dark servants are significantly harder to obtain than firewater forest servants, light and dark servants are naturally stronger than firewater forest servants. If firewater forest servant can be transcendent with only 1 duplicate servant, now look at this another ridiculous reason, okay? We won't be able to give firewater forest servants the necessary increase in stats to compete against the light and dark servants. Like, what? Okay, so they are making a reason that like giving a higher transcendence to the firewater forest servant, they will actually have some chance to compete with the light and dark servants. And now look into the explanation of this reason. Look how vague it is, okay? By increasing transcendence cost of the firewater forest servants and ultimately the transcendence difficulty of these servants, we can assign appropriate stats to the firewater forest servants so that they can compete against light and dark servants to a certain degree. Okay, they are making one point. Okay, now let's see like if it's actually gonna be really that valid. Okay, here are some answers to the feedback that were brought up in the community. How big will the gap be between the firewater forest servants and light and dark servants? Okay, we expect 10th Transcendence firewater forest servant to have performance similar to that of the 7th Transcendence light and dark servants. There we go, guys. There we go. Just look at this right out here, guys. This is going completely against the one they are actually saying right out here on the top. Till the 7th only, 8th, 9th and 10th. And usually the final Transcendence usually give you a very high amount of boost. Okay, just like when you are enhancing your gears and at the plus 15 you get actually a very good bonus amount of stat increase on your primary stat, right? Just like that, usually the ultimate Transcendence usually comes up with a very good boost. Okay, and 10th Transcendence has a lot more features than compared to the 9th. Okay, and it has a little bit different algorithm as well. So that's the thing right out there, guys. 7th against the 10th, that is totally unfair on the first place already, and I really don't think that it actually goes with this one. It is just like a bait. Okay, it's just like a bait. That's all I can say. It's a bait. As we mentioned earlier, if Transcendence cost did not increase and remain at 1 servant per Transcendence, we won't be able to allow 10 Transcendence firewater forest servant to compete against the 7 Transcendence light and dark servants. So I'm just saying, if the opponent already has the 10th Transcendence light and dark servants, in the first place, guys, there will be no competition from your firewater forest servant at the T10 Transcendence on the first place. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, if they have like 10 Transcendence, Light and Dark servants, then pretty much they will have way much upper hand against your opponent, against your team. Okay. However, because we increase the Transcendence cost for the higher Transcendence, we will be able to give greater stats to the Firewater Forest servants. Come on, this is a crap. You know, like, it's not some kind of universal rule. This is some kind of rule that is provided and imposed by the developers themselves. Developers are the one who can actually do that. This is not something like a government policy or something like that. Like, what are they trying to say? And like, we make the rule, and then like, because of this rule, it's not actually gonna happen like that. It's just like how the Trump would say to its citizen, okay, to his citizen, like, he creates the problem, and then he actually turns out to be the savior of the problem. Like, what? I'm like, this is really funny. Really, like, I'm sorry about this, but this is really funny, okay? Ultimately allowing the 10th Transcendence, you know, like Firewater Forest 7 to compete against the 7th Transcendence, Light and Dark 7. Like, I don't even get, or cannot even like believe the validity of this statement. Like, what sort of comparison is it? Like, is it fair? Okay, it's like a fact and the statement, okay? No problem with that one. But they are trying to use this fact as a reason for you guys to be motivated to transcend your Firewater Forest servants to the 10th Transcendence. Like, what? Are you guys following this one? This will allow Firewater Forest servants to be viable for various contents, giving more incentives to develop Firewater Forest servants. Okay, like, well, this may seem obvious considering the difficulty to reach 10 Transcendence. Difficulty? A lot of difficulty, guys. A lot of difficulty. You cannot just write difficulty in here. It's like very hard, extreme, hyper, ultra, mega difficulty, guys. To reach the 10 Transcendence for Light and Dark servants, servants, like, it's just too great, guys. It's like, I don't know, like penta, giga, whatever hard difficulty there is, that's the hard difficulty that we are actually going to face in the Light and Dark servants. Okay, 10th Transcendence, Light and Dark servants will be significantly stronger than the 10th Transcendence Firewater Forest servants. So there we go. There's already a bias right out here. Okay, there's already a bias right out here. Don't you think common shard is too much? Wouldn't it discourage heirs that develop the collaboration servants or servants that weren't available for shard farming? Common shards is one of our attempts to create more methods of developing servants without relying on the summoning, which is completely based on luck. Yes, it is. While we understand the concern, we won't be giving out a lot of Transcendence common shard. So there we go, guys. There will be some pay-to-play feature right out here. Even now, select summon can be obtained through craft or in-app purchase. Right out there, guys. Right out there. Common shard will be available for in-app purchase, and it can also be obtained in some small amount through gameplay. In small amount. Please note that, okay? Small amount is not gonna be enough. It's not actually gonna even put any sort of dent in the long process of getting your servants to T10. No, we will continue to care about heirs that develop servants that cannot be farmed or collaboration servants, okay? The next one is, don't you think the craft needs improvement along with the Transcendence expansion? We weren't able to share more details about this issue in the last dev note because we had nothing to finalize. As we expand Transcendence, select summon acquisition through craft will also be improved. Select summon through craft will include all servants, including new servants. Also, Firewater Forest servant can now be crafted 3 times a month. Okay, that's great. Right now it's only 1 time a month, and now it's 3 times a month. That's pretty good. And Light and Dark servants can be farmed 5 times a month. Okay, we will be changing select summon crafted before the update to include all new servants. Next one is, please consider sniping using the relation effect. Well, this is a little bit way out of content issue. Currently, 0 Transcendence area can snipe the 5th Transcendence Lucretia's passive. Okay, so because this relation effect actually like depends upon the awakening rather than the Transcendence. So currently Transcendence does not influence sniping through the relation effect. Many heirs have expressed their concern that it wouldn't make sense for a 0 Transcendence servant to snipe the 10th Transcendence servants. We agree with this concern for the most part. if we decide that this is becoming an issue, after more investigation, we will apply change to the relation effect so that it makes difference in the transcendence between servants into account. Okay, that makes good sense. Next one is light dark servants transcendence seems too difficult. Okay, in the standard of the current build, it will be very difficult to transcend the light and dark servants. This is not only because the shard farming has been difficult for light and dark servants, which pretty much is, but also because we limited the summons of the light and dark servants in general to respect its rarity. Okay, with the respect to its rarity, we are gonna make it difficult. What a very great way to make a very good excuse. Therefore, to loosen the limit on the light and dark summons, we will be adding light and dark special summon. Okay, light and dark special summon allows heirs to choose 4 light and dark 5 seconds by using 2 light and dark 3 to 5 star summon stones. So instead of just using 1 3 to 5 star light and dark summon stone, you will be required 2. Okay, twice the burn rate, but you can actually use them as a special summon shard. Okay, which I think is pretty okay. That's pretty good, I think. Okay, if you can actually limit your pool on which 5-star net servant you are actually going to receive on your next pull, then that's pretty great. If heir summon 5-star from the light and dark special summon, heirs are guaranteed to summon one of the 4 servants they choose, just like special summon shard. Okay, we believe that it will become easier to transcend light and dark servants as we lower acquisition difficulty of the light and dark servants. Also, we will be improving 3 to 5-star light and dark summon stone supply from various light dark summon packages so that the heirs can acquire more light and dark servants. Light and dark 3 to 5-star summon packages 4 will be giving 30 light and dark 3 to 5-star summon stones instead of 22 after the update. Okay, it is true that this update is bringing huge changes. While these changes can feel different or odd, we hope that heirs view these careful changes as our effort to improve the gameplay experience. Gameplay experience? Is it gonna improve it? I doubt it. Of Heir of Light, we are also preparing various marketing plans along with the collaboration to celebrate 2nd year anniversary of the Heir of Light in March. We promise to continue to improve Heir of Light through community feedbacks. Community feedbacks? Oh man, thank you, Flynn. Oh man, so right off the bat, there's gonna be so many pay-to-play features, pay-to-win features, and obviously the gap between the pay-to-play players and the free-to-play players are actually gonna get drastic. Okay, it's actually gonna be really huge. The people who are actually gonna be paying will have faster, higher rate of like shard farming rate. They will be able to get to that T10 maybe, okay, very faster. Whereas for the free-to-play players, it's actually gonna be a total mayhem. It's gonna be very miserable thing right out there, guys. Okay, even though like new system is actually being provided, it's actually trying to focus more into pay-to-play features where it's actually trying to earn a lot more money, which I think it's okay, but it's actually gonna increase a lot of biasness. It's actually gonna increase a lot of gap between the players. That's what I can actually say from right out here, guys. Okay, Purification is pretty good, but getting that altar shrine and temple a totally pay-to-play feature, it's totally bad. Okay, whereas only sanctuary is gonna be available to us, which is totally like, it's like a bait. Okay, it's like just try it out in here and then try it out in different places. It's just like a bait. That's all it is. Okay, whereas the altar shrine and temple, it's pretty much a pay-to-play feature. The next one right up here, it's also with the all-in-one package. Okay, so right out here, guys, well, it is okay. I mean, like at least for us free-to-play players, it's pretty much a decent stuff, because at least we are actually gonna get some pretty good amount of like servants for at least like 5 days. Every 5 days we are actually gonna get that, so that's pretty okay. Whereas for the people who actually purchase this all-in-one package, they will have even speedy process of getting those servant shards. Okay, so that's right out there. Is Transcendence improvement, I don't think that like anything is actually going to be changing right out here. They're pretty much stubborn about it. And guys, let me know about your views and opinions about this thing. I'm so sorry about the lengthiness of this video, because like I really had to cover up everything right out here. So what do you guys think about this one? Please let me know in the comment section below and let's discuss about it. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel, and see you guys in the next video.